Happy Thursday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. We are back with the Road to Millions. Apologize for my little snafu yesterday. If you didn't see Twitter, I'll show you. I'll show you here in a second why we did not do a show yesterday. But I got a great show for today. We're going to update the week. We're down some units, mostly because of yesterday, and we'll go over that. We're going to keep talking about bets for this week. We're a little bit higher volume. One of the reasons is soccer is starting up again. It's going to bring some more bets in. The good news is the soccer plays are just fantastic. So we'll talk about the betting lab. We'll go over MLB, soccer, UFC. We'll go over a few other sports as well, golf and Bellator. We have a great viewer question. I didn't even prep you for this one, Steve, for a reason. This is one of the better viewer questions we got for a certain reason. And then we're going to go over the streak of the day. So Steve, we have to start with the week update. You were going on your rant about yesterday, and I said stop and save it for the show. So I don't mean to laugh because we're having a great baseball season. We're having a great August of baseball. We were due for a bad night, and yesterday our bad night came. We go 0-3. I got to tell you, man, I think Texas getting shut out by a bullpen game by Oakland is what infuriated me the most. Losing 2-0 to Oakland on a bullpen game for Oakland. What was that? Let's start there, and then we'll get to the Cubs and the Mets, which is where you're salty about. What happened to Texas?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, obviously they're missing Jung in that order a little bit. You know what I mean? It's a huge hole. I mean, I was actually going to touch on him later in the show, but we'll just take and go over it now. I mean, he has 22 home runs, 67 RBIs on the year, and you look at it. The guy that's stepping into his spot now, Ezekiel Duran, isn't near the hitter that he is, and Duran, he the first night he came in for him, he did hit a home run, but I was watching pretty closely, and he's 1 for 8 since starting in place of Jung. And what's really interesting about it, he's 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Yikes. So 6 of those, that spot in the order keeps coming up. You know, they got that top 4 of great sluggers, and then Jung was that 5th hitter, you know, sometimes in the 6th hole that was really providing a lot of pop for them. And now Duran in that spot, he's just not the hitter that Jung is. Yesterday 0-3. I mean, after starting the week 4-2 was pretty brutal. The Cubs one is the one that got me late in the game there. Yeah. So I don't always disagree with. So we had first and second, down by a run in our last chance in the 9th inning. We're down 4-3. The Cubs were, and you know, I don't always disagree with the sacrifice bunt right there, but they bunt over. They get the sacrifice bunt down, get it down at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out now. But what happens there is if the next hitter strikes out or isn't able to get the sacrifice, all that pressure just goes up on Happ there in that last spot, as who ended up batting last there. And you get a guy like Morel, he's swinging out of his shoes in this spot where we just need a base hit. He's swinging for the fences. It was beautiful that he hit the solo home run at the beginning of the game, but then, you know, as this game winds down, we just need a base hit here. That they got to that perfect spot where that's the goal there, is they get 2nd and 3rd. And if they can get the base hit, they win the game. Well, get into the position to win the game. But with a guy like him swinging out of his shoes, he strikes out and then sets up Happ. And now Happ has all the pressure on the world on him. He can't get the sacrifice just to tie the game. He needs a base hit. And obviously we fell short on that one because we went 0-3.
I don't like the sacrifice in that spot. Okay, you're guaranteeing an out. Okay, you just know you're going to get an out. If the sacrifice doesn't go right, that's not a guarantee you're advancing the runners. You know, I mean, if the bunt comes off wrong or he pops it up or something, like, then you've done nothing. And the bunt guarantees that you're not going to get a run on that bat or anything good is going to happen. I say let the batter do his thing. Like, if he gets a hit, great. Like, but even if he swings and it goes deep to the outfield, you still have a chance to advance the runners. Like, that's the thing, is you have a chance to advance the runners. You also have a chance for a hit. Obviously, a strikeout is a bummer, but I don't like that spot trying to advance the runners to 2nd and 3rd. Because like you said, if the next batter strikes out or pops up short, or easy dribbler ground out, that one out all of a sudden becomes really, really valuable, and you're just screwed. I don't like giving up the out in that spot.
I mean, and you can look at it too, like when you already have a man in scoring position, so now you have three batters. And remember, we're at the top of the order here, so we have the key hitters coming up to get these hits. So you have three chances. Obviously, you got the second guess, I guess, is there's the chance of a double play. You get the guys on second and third, and you avoid the double play. But last night they had the Mets bullpen on the ropes, and it's almost like giving them that one out kind of gave him kind of get. And then we get to that strikeout, and now okay, one out, and we're out of this jam, and that's what they did. And that Cubs lineup had been so hot for the past couple of weeks, but just couldn't get the job done for us last night, unfortunately.
I had been saying they need to walk Pete Alonso every time at bat. They walk him the first time, great. They pitched to him the second time, and he hits a home run. I think he had 10. I counted up 10 RBIs in the series. 10 RBIs. How many runs did they score? 14, 15? He had 10 RBIs, and they're still pitching to him. And I was texting you. I was like, walk him. I don't care if anybody's on first. The rest of the lineup is anemic. Like, who cares if you walk him and you put a guy on second? The next guy's probably going to go into a double play or strike out. He's probably not going to hit a home run or anything. I don't know, man. When you have a guy like that has absolutely torn you up, there's just no way I'm giving you a shot at a home run. And it cost him last night. It absolutely cost him. He had a home run with 2 more RBIs. I don't know. Am I crazy on this?
Well, it's funny there because, all right, so Alonso is a guy that he's historically, I found out last night, has been killing the Cubs throughout his career. And he just continued to do it this series as well. But just the thing there is with the man at first, I think there was one out at that point. Lindor was at first, I believe. So the managers are going to look at it from the mathematical standpoint of, well, Alonso is batting .227. So we have a 78% chance of getting him out in this situation, essentially, But when the guy's as hot as that, it has to enter your mind. And I mean, they were talking about it late in the game. They were talking about, well, is it time for the Cubs to start walking Alonso? But the other thing is they only had one out there. They're just never going to put that guy in scoring position when they don't have to.
Great.
They're never going to.
Great. Okay, so the guy's hitting .228 for the season. Guess what he's hitting against you the last couple games? 800 with 10 RBIs and multiple home runs. He's killing you. I don't get it, man. This is like in football when the running back has 200 yards at halftime. Maybe we should sneak a linebacker up and take away the run. I don't know. I'm just a guy sitting here watching the game. I just, when I saw you hit another home run, part of me was almost like, that's what you get. You deserve that.
I know you've always been a big advocate of walking these hitters when they're in these grooves like this, but like I said, it's just they're gonna look at the math on it. They're gonna look at also they're not gonna want to put the runner in scoring position, and then just next guy gets a single and now there's a run in. I get it though. Alonso was just killing them, and I mean at that point in the game, if they would have walked it, maybe we would have had a different outcome.
Listen, I've always said I would be the best cornerman in the UFC with my strategy. And I also think I would be one of the better baseball manager strategies. Because I'm telling you right now, Ohtani would never see a pitch. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but how can you do that? What if they put Trout behind him? What if Trout's sitting
not
behind?
There. Right now,
I know.
Right now, Ohtani's never seeing it. You're never seeing a pitch. You don't even need, if Ohtani's up to bat, he doesn't even to walk out with a helmet or a bat. Just walk out of the dugout and walk to first base. You're go to first base. You're not seeing it because the next couple of guys I can take care of. So anyway, it was a frustrating day. The baseball strategy, and I get it. It kind of falls in the category of like, the GMs in the NBA draft, like taking the guy overseas as a big roll of the dice, because if that guy's a bust, you go to the GM and you're like, what were you thinking? This guy from Europe, he's a bust. But if you take the guy that was awesome in the NCAA tournament and the guy's a bust, the GM can be like, I didn't know, but He looked awesome in March. Like, not my fault. So I get that they do like quote the safe plays, but I'm just after what Alonso had done to them the previous 2 games, there's just no shot I'm giving him a chance to beat me, and he beat him. They deserved it. He absolutely beat him.
I mean, you are right about one thing, that there is a major downgrade, obviously, after Alonso in that lineup, and no one else in the lineup really strikes any sort of a couple of good hitters, but no one that's really striking fear in your hearts that's going to take the ball out of the yard necessarily.
No, if anyone else beats me, fine. That's I'll live. But yeah, for that to happen was just yeah, it was quite infuriating here. So all right, so Steve, I have to show everybody what happened to me yesterday, why we didn't have a show. And so I don't know what happened. I was moving some cases for my audio production company. They'd been sitting in this pole barn. Everything was dirty and filthy. I'm allergic to pollen and bananas. There's a weird one. I'm allergic to bananas. So I touched my lip. Obviously, something was on there, and this is the result. It is my upper lip completely exploded, and I could barely talk. I definitely couldn't consume liquids. It would just like after Novocaine, it would just like falling out of your mouth. So I was thinking here, like, my lip reminded me of something, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and then I remembered that's what it reminded.
Joining the cast, nice.
Yeah. So they actually reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, you fit in really well. You fit in really well." So we'll see how casting and audition goes. The swelling's going down, so I may not fit in.
You're not gonna be able to join now.
No. So all right. Enough of that. Enough screwing around. Bets for this week. So we knew we were going to have quite a few bets Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, it worked out great. We got bit, but we're still on a great run in August. I mean, and we're still number 1 in winning percentage for the year in MLB. We're actually number 2 on WagerTalk for all sports winning percentage. So we're doing a good job picking winners. We're well above 57%. We got a couple series though coming up this for the next few days, right?
Yeah. For the weekend, we have a couple of spots circled, and we'll have one play for tonight as well.
Okay.
So we have one tonight. One tonight. We should have 2 for most of the weekend, I believe.
Okay. We have Bellator and UFC. So we already have plays that are posted for those, and soccer starts this weekend. So get ready for Corbin. I wish I could tell you exact times that the plays will come out. Corbin has to wait for the lineups to be set before they release some of the plays. So if you haven't bet soccer with us before, they're going to come out on Saturday mornings. Just make sure your notifications are on, because these plays are going to come out whenever the lineups come out, because we use a lot of those types of props. So could be 2 or 3 hours before the game. It could be an hour before the game. Unfortunately, with this, we're just at the mercy of when the teams, finally get their official lineups in. So you'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, soccer season, Corbin crushes soccer. Number 1
definitely
since we started. So we're excited about that. Let's talk a little betting lab. Is there anything that we are noticing here? I was keeping my eyes on the Royals, and I know they've technically lost 2 to Boston, but they've covered the run line. Do we lose the Royals, Steve? Are the Royals now? We can't bet against them, can we?
Yeah, and they've been definitely hotter than they were one of our main teams to fade for the majority of the season. Obviously a great team to fade. Horrible bullpen, especially since the trade deadline and stuff. But yeah, they've been really heating up recently, and it's been a tough team to bet against. So we've kind of been staying. Luckily, we got off of them right in time, it seems like. So we'll keep monitoring them, though. I think down the stretch, though, there'll be some other spots where we can fade them for sure.
The UFC event I wanted to talk about, they've got 3 fighters this weekend that if they lose this weekend, they're probably done in the UFC. And the UFC tends to do this as we're starting to wind down the year. You're going to see these guys that like haven't fought in a while. UFC's like, you got to fight. So there's Chris Dawkins. That's one of them. If he loses again, he's probably gonna be cut. He's moving down a weight division. I don't know how that's going to affect it. Some of the theories are, he's going to be thinner, so he's going to be better and a better wrestler. I don't know. I'm like, I think he sucks no matter what weight division he's in. There's a guy, JP Bays. He hasn't fought in a while. He's terrible. He's a guy that we definitely are betting against. And then there's another one, Jamie Pickett, who's fighting. I'm definitely going to be betting against him. As for the other ones, there's a lot of underdogs that I think have a chance. Those three, I'm feeling okay betting against, but there's a lot of underdogs that I think are live. So it's a tricky UFC card. And then Bellator, we will have several plays in Bellator. This is a very bettable Bellator card. So I'm excited about that. We will have a couple of those plays up by the end. So. And then, of course, we got soccer. There's one tennis play that's up right now, but those tournaments are kind of winding down. So this may be the last tennis play of the week. So make sure you get that one in. So anything else in MLB of note, Steve?
Just one thing I wanted to kind of touch on in the NFL. I've been waiting for numbers on the rookie wide receiver from the Vikings, Jordan Addison. There's no numbers out for his props yet on the season, but one thing that really stood out to me was that hearing that Adam Thielen had the second most routes run last season, right behind Justin Jefferson, his teammate. So this could be a great spot to, everyone's talking about Jefferson on the Vikings, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a player that obviously you can't help but love. He's been incredible, and obviously he'll keep putting up these huge numbers. But with this aggressive offense of Kevin O'Connell, and now there's no Dalvin Cook over there, I'm thinking this could be a spot where if his receptions numbers come out, the future number comes out right at the right number, and maybe even week to week we can look towards him for an over receptions as well, just based on the volume that he's going to get stepping in there as the number 2 receiver.
That's a good look. And I watched Thielen a lot last year because my big money league is a very deep roster. So Adam Thielen had value in that league. I started him, so I watched him. He lost his step. He is so slow. No separation, absolutely none whatsoever, and he still had 70 catches in that offense, mostly because like you said, volume and Jefferson. So of course the trick is he's a very, very smart veteran, and him and Cousins have played together. But man, you're right. If Addison can get on the right page and the same page with Kirk Cousins, oh man, he could have a really monster year.
Yeah, and they don't have numbers. Obviously, being a rookie, they don't really have prop numbers out on him yet. I'm sure they'll come out soon, but it'll be something to keep an eyes open. I'd be looking towards the over for receptions there.
All right, let us get to the viewer question of the day. And while we're bringing it up, I just want to remind everybody, we've got our MLB play of the day that is up, and we have our MMA pack. That's going to include all of our plays that have UFC and Bellator in. And we have 2 promo codes, MLB 189, rest of the MLB regular season for $189. We don't do playoffs, but just doesn't really fit our style, and playoffs end up kind of being it's a really, really busy time of year, and we just traditionally haven't brought in enough units to really make it worthwhile. But we're number 1 in winning percentage. We're having a great August. I know we had a bad night last night, but that's going to happen. At least it's out of the way. So MLB 189 gets you the rest of the MLB regular season for $189, number 1 in winning percentage. And Andy 365, this is still up $500 off a year pack of all sports for $14.99. Guys, this is a great deal. A full NFL season is more than this.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm grateful that WagerTalk is letting us do this, but please take advantage of it. This is the road to millions. Complete strategy is a year's worth of all sports. That's how we do it. You can obviously do road to millions with just one of our sports if you want, or a couple of them if you don't like betting all the sports. But yeah, just use the promo code Andy365, $500 off a year pack of all sports. If you want to talk about it, if you have questions about it, or even if you're nervous about it, send me a DM on Twitter or send me an email. I've talked to quite a few people about this. I understand it's a big investment, but we just believe it's really worth it. If you haven't seen the original Road to Millions video, and this is important because it has to do with our viewer question of the day, this is why I'm bringing this up. The original Road to Millions video is Monday, June 26th on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you don't have the bankroll builder spreadsheet, it's in the link on a pinned comment. And just remind everybody, our goal is to try and turn $1,000 into $1 million. We look at bankrolls like investment portfolios. Average annual return on a 401k is 5 to 8%. We are at 60%. My mom met with her financial advisor yesterday, and she's up 2% on the stock market this year. And she brought up, she's like, well, my accounts with my son are up 60%.
He's like, what?
Yep. Yes. No. Because my mom and I use the same company. We have different advisors, but it's the same company. And I pitched them. I was like, listen, willing to offer my services. You guys,
right?
If you guys want to step your game up, you're dabbling down here in the 2 to 5% range. We're up here in 60%. It turns out that's illegal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense.
So, all right, let's get to the viewer. Let's get to the viewer question. All right, this is Steve at user DF5QN8EI7U. Hey, which one are you? Whose burner account is this? Fess up. I want to know whose burner account.
Yeah, right.
So at user DF5QN8EI7U, he tries to do the old gotcha thing, like, oh, I got him. So he says, notice that the one thing not mentioned is that you need to delete the amount of costs of the picks per day, week, month, or year to get the true profit loss for the time peroid.
Peroid?
He meant period, but since you're trying to do a gotcha on us, I'm going to point out your misspelling. So the time peroid, need an extra column for that. All right, user DF5QN8EI7U. We've gone over this many times. Steve, would you like to tell them why we don't include that on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, the bankroll is separate from what you use to buy picks. You got to keep that separated. You're going to have separate money to buy the picks, obviously, and then separate the bankroll. And that's why it's not included on there, because it's not part of it.
Yeah, we'll go back to our rules. Most questions can be answered in these 4 rules. Our number one goal is trying to make 3% per week. We do not chase our losses. We don't do drunk betting, and we do not pull money out of the bankroll. So at user DF whatever, go back and watch the original Road to Millions video on June 26th. We go over that in detail. But yes, the money has to come from somewhere else. The bankroll is sacred. We do not touch the money in the bankroll. The bankroll is off on its own. If you have a retirement or an IRA, there's actually laws that say you can't pull money out of those, or it's a big penalty. We look at our bankroll as the exact same. Do not pull money out of the bankroll. Don't take fees. Don't take money out. We're trying to build this bankroll up big.
And if I'm not mistaken, does your financial advisor, I'm assuming he charges you, right?
He charges, and yeah. I gotta pay him, and it does not come from.
He doesn't.
From the account. It does not come from the account. So, and by the way, I pay him more than what that year passes.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure easily.
So, yeah, you're getting a pretty smoking deal. So, all right. So that's the viewer question. I don't mean to pick on you at user DF5QN8EI7U, but that's the answer to your question. Go back and watch the original video. It shouldn't take too much of your time. It's not a big peroid out of your day to go back and to go back and watch that.
Whose soccer account is that?
Whose burner account? Let me know. Fess up. It's either someone at WagerTalk or someone I know on Twitter. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Trying to trip us up.
All right, let's do the streak of the day. All right, Steve, the streak of the day. We're looking at Enrique Hernandez, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Didn't quite make our card. A lot to like about it, but something that prevents this from being on the card. What is it?
Yeah, so we talked about him when he joined the Dodgers around the trade deadline, about how he might become a hot bat for them, rejoining his former squad. And he has been. He's batting .317 since joining the team with 8 RBIs. And he's went over this 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs in 7 of his last 8 games. It's a great spot. On paper, you look at it, he's facing a left-handed pitcher. He's better against lefties as a right-handed hitter. He's facing the Rockies. And we know their bullpen isn't very good. Going to have a lot of good chances against them. But he just doesn't have the best track record against the starter, Ty Blatch. I'm sorry. He's 5 for 21 against him. He does have a home run, but that comes out to a 238 batting average. So it's not the greatest track record, and it's a decent little history there. So not enough to make the card today.
All right, that is going to be our streak of the day. Guys, please like and subscribe. Give us the thumbs up, please. It helps us. Comment, put your questions. Tell us if you like the plays, don't like the plays. And like I said, if you have any questions about Road to Millions, do not hesitate to reach out. I've been really happy with a lot of the people that have reached out and wanted some more information or just wanted to talk it through a little bit. So that's going to do it for us. My lip is getting back to the normal size, so I don't think you'll see me on Bravo channel. You'll just have to see me here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel.
Bravo almost stole you away from WagerTalk.
Yeah. I got a non-compete clause. So really, guys, go get that year-long pass. We're creeping up on football season, and based on our track record on 5% plays, number 1 on 5% plays, number 1 on totals last year in NFL. So hoping for another big NFL season. All right, guys, soccer starts this weekend. We got UFC, Bellator, MLB, a lot of good things. Let's get this week back on track and get back to our winning ways. Let's continue the hot August. So good luck, everyone, and we'll see everyone tomorrow on Road to Millions.
Good luck tonight.